It's amazing to look back and see where we were 8 years ago. In 2002, I went to the doctor for pretty much of a routine, kind of a physical, and I was diagnosed within 30 minutes with chronic myelogenous leukemia. They said that it was pretty serious and that I had about a 40% chance to make it through. So we began a journey that we knew we had to be with God the entire way.
When Cassie was diagnosed, I had about a 20-minute conversation with God in private, and he allowed me to vent my frustrations, because I was curious of why was it her? Why wasn't it me? Why wasn't it somebody else that deserved to have this type of disease? And God completely lifted the burden from my shoulders. It was the most reassuring thing I'd ever felt in my life, that God was there, and that no matter what happened, we were to glorify Him.
We did our crying, we did our time where we wondered how this was going to turn out and what was going to be the end result. I did have a pretty rough time. I almost did pass away twice because of the high dose of chemo. I had 6 rounds of total body irradiation, and so I no longer can have children of my own. At the very end, on my last day, I remember praying and thanking God, and I remember He said just as clear as day, "Cassie, you're my miracle child." And I made a promise then that I'd go out and I would tell our story.
We had good jobs, great church, wonderful neighbors. She was home and healthy, and God said, I need to send you somewhere else. And He put it on our hearts, which is what brought us here to Southern Indiana. We feel the blessing coming here was that He wanted us to have our second son in Eric.
We were blessed with Nate prior to my diagnosis. He was just 2 years old at the time, but we weren't ready to stop, so we knew that someday in our future we would want to go forward with an adoption. We got on this waiting list, and it was within 6 months from minute of application to minute that sweet little boy laid in my arms, and from that moment on, I knew what I went through that for.
Our lives have changed forever. We are closer to each other through this. We're closer to God through this. And His point from the beginning was to draw us closer to Him and to His Son, Jesus. Yeah, no matter what happens in the future, that we know that we can always persevere because He gives us our strength.
I just feel like I'm a much stronger Christian. I'm definitely nowhere near the end and never will be. But I hope and pray every day that God continues to use me, because I can't talk from the Bible as well as I would like, but I can tell what God has done in our life and what He's done in our family, and that's what I feel like is part of my purpose now. I'm supposed to tell our story, to tell what God can get us through when we believe in Him and have faith.